Hey guys, how are you? It's been a week and I am back with this live, and I hope that you guys had a good week. Today, actually, because of somebody's request, which I'm so grateful for because I always want requests, they were talking about, I'm sorry, I forgot who it was, but they mentioned um, this thing that I find really interesting, which is that the mental disorder called schizophrenia. Um, they were talking about that being um, maybe related to psychic abilities and clairvoyance, where you're able to see spirits. um, and they were saying that maybe it's like oh, I forgot the exact word they said, but they were saying something along the lines of it being a different, a kind of unbalanced version of yeah, being a clairvoyant basically. And I found that topic really interesting. And but as a disclaimer here, I'm not a mental health expert and I'm not a medical professional, but I do have personal experience with this stuff, like being able to see spirits, ghosts, and yeah, like I have my own personal experience, so I definitely can relate to that in that way, not in a scientific way or like in a medical kind of way, because that's not my expertise, but I can relate to it in that way. So I thought I'd start by talking about my own personal experience, which I've had several experiences of being able to of seeing spirits and ghosts and stuff. And one of the ones that really stand out to me, which it's not a good experience. It wasn't a good spirit that I saw, but I I moved to England from Japan when I was 9 years old. I'm currently in Japan now, like I'm living in Tokyo right now, but when I was 9, I moved to the UK, to England, and the first house we moved into um, was really old, and I just remember feeling unstable, like not at ease at that house. And because I only lived, well, that's not it's not really the reason, but I only lived there for less than a year. Um, while they were getting my parents and whoever were getting the other house ready, the house that we were supposed to like move into, like, and live there permanently, which we only ended up living there for a year. But for less than a year, maybe 2 or 3 months, we lived in a really old house in London. And I just felt really not at ease. And one of the experiences I had was like whenever I went to sleep, or whenever I went to bed, um, I would look, because it would be pitch black. We wouldn't have lights on when we were sleeping, but whenever I looked at the ceiling, I saw spirits. I saw, like, first of all, I saw holes in the ceiling, so that was scary in itself. And holes, and when I looked at those holes, I would see lights. I would see lights, like little lights flickering, and I would think, wow, like, what's that? That's kind of weird. Because I would turn the light back on, and that would disappear. I wouldn't see anything. But it was always when I turned off the light that I would see those like little holes of lights, and it was like a portal where spirits would come in. And then I would see like spirits, ghosts. I would see a big ghost, like a black ghost, like literally just there in the room. And it was coming from that hole in the those holes in the ceiling, or one of the holes in the ceiling. And yeah, it was just so scary to see. And yeah, that experience, that was probably the first time I ever had a negative experience with with spirits and stuff. And even in my house right now, the house I'm living right now, it's been years since that experience. That experience was in what, in the early 2000s. But now, like, even like now, if I'm not in a good headspace, I would see spirits, and I would see like a not. I'm not being racist. I'm not talking about the race, but I would literally see like this shadowy black figure, and that person would be like standing over there by the door, because that's where my door is. He would just be there, and I would be in my bed, which is there, and because I live in a one room flat thing. I don't have rooms. I only have one room. I would see it sometimes, and yeah. Oh, one time I had this really weird, scary experience. Okay, which I'm sorry, I keep jumping around with like different stories because I've had so many, and like I want to get everything in. Which even if I don't, it's not a problem. But I just really want to talk about this stuff. But yeah, one time, and I told this to my friend and asked her to help me, and she helped me. But one time I was in bed. Oh no, I thought of another one. Oh no. I have so many stories. Okay. One time I was sleeping in bed. It's always when I'm in bed, which that kind of makes sense because it's like if you're relaxed, you're more like kind of susceptible, is that the word, to like letting in spirits, like letting in your, like, because your subconscious mind is more open, and then you're like able to let in spirits and stuff. But anyway, so yeah, I was like sleeping, or I was lying in bed, and then I saw two people. It was actually when I woke up. It was like just before, when you're like, when you wake up from sleeping but you're not fully awake and you're not asleep, that kind of stage. I saw like two men arguing above my bed. It was so weird. It was like they were standing above my bed. One person had a hat. I remember one person had a brown coat on with a brown hat, and he was talking to the other guy, another person, and that person had like a black coat. And one of them, I can't remember which one because it was a while ago, but one of them killed the other one with this gun, which obviously they're spirits, so they only had a spirit version of a gun. But yeah, one of them killed the other one. I was like, oh no. But then that kept happening. It was like, it wasn't over. It was like, what, several nights in a row, or several mornings, I should say, like early 4 a.m. Like several mornings in a row, I would see it. And then I got scared, and I told my friend. She used to be a colleague of mine at one of my workplaces that I used to work at, and yeah, because she like knows about spirits and stuff, and she like reads astrology, and she knows all the spiritual stuff. And then I asked her for help. Like, I don't want to keep seeing this. I don't want to keep seeing this murdering thing going on every time I wake up at 4 a.m. in the morning. And yeah, the other story. I think my guys want me to talk about the other story too. But yeah, I asked her for help, and she said to get some salt, and like, what did she say to? I think she told me to use the salt and like throw it to those spirits. But like, yeah, I didn't really know what to do with that, because it was like it would always happen at 4 a.m. in the morning. I wouldn't have salt with me. But no, I think maybe she told me to like put it somewhere to give it to make them go away. And yeah, if it was that, I would have done that, because that's very simple. But yeah, I've had that kind of experience. So yeah, that story. And then I have another one which I want to talk about that. But before that though, my understanding of the difference between like just being able to see spirits, and like just being a clairvoyant, and having schizophrenia. The difference with that is, even though not everybody believes this, like everybody believes that if you see spirits, like you're schizophrenic and that's it. But my personal understanding and my personal belief, this is not medical, by the way. Again, disclaimer, I'm not a medical professional, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a scientist, I'm not a psychiatrist or psychologist. But my understanding is that if you see spirits and it's not making your life difficult, or like making your life or like not affecting your life negatively, then that's not schizophrenic, because you're seeing spirits but it's not bothering you to the extent that you can't live your life, you can't live your, to the extent that you can't go about your life, like do your work, do your job, eat, sleep, bathe, that kind of thing. But if you're seeing spirits and it's affecting you to the point where you're not able to, you know, go about your daily life and your daily routine, then that's a sign that you might need medical attention, or you most likely need medical attention. So that's the difference that I know of. That's my understanding. But if you guys know different, then please tell me, because we want to learn together. We always want to grow and learn from each other. And yeah, I don't want to be the person who's like, this is it and you have to believe what I say and that's all it is, because I'm not perfect, nobody's perfect, but we can learn from each other all the time. And yeah, so understanding. But anyway, I have this other experience, which, by the way, if you're watching this and if you have your own experiences of being able to see spirits, or like having you know whatever kind of experience in regards to seeing spirits, please share that in the comment section, because I would really love to know that I'm not the only person who sees spirits. And also, like, we want to help each other, that's why I'm doing this. It's not just about me. If it was just about me, I wouldn't do this. I would just talk to my friends about it, or talk to someone who, like, I don't know, who's close to me, but like who's near me or whatever. But yeah, I want to like spread this community a lot more, like make it more, like, I don't know, fun. And yeah, share experiences. But anyway, I had this other experience, which is so weird, because I don't know if it was a dream, or I don't know if it happened when I was awake or asleep, because it always seems, this, like, these experiences seem to always happen when I'm half asleep and half awake. But one of the experiences that I had was that I think I was awake, but I was in bed, as always, as it always seems to happen when I'm in bed. It was like 4 in the morning or 5 in the morning, and I woke up, but I was still like lying in bed, and then I saw like animals, but they weren't real animals. They were like stuffed animals, but they were like moving. You know how sometimes, what is it, like in the Olympics or something, where like you see like mascots, that's it, mascots, it's like that. It's like I saw mascots, but they were animals, and like those huge animals. But for some reason in my head, apparently they were my family. So like they were like my father and my mother and my siblings, and but they were like dressed up, apparently. And yeah, I was like, oh my god. And like what I saw was, I was in bed and I was in this room, the room that I live in, the flat that I live in. And I saw them. Oh, my nose is so itchy. I'm pretty sure I'm like connecting to something. But anyway, I saw them, and I was like, oh my god, why? How are you guys here? How are you guys in my flat? And then I was really excited, really happy, obviously, like, because my family all live abroad. They don't even live in the same country as me, which is sad. But yeah, like I saw them and I was like, oh my god, how are you guys just randomly in my flat? But I was really excited, really happy, and then I fell back asleep, and then they were gone. So it must have been like a dream or something, or they were. I don't know if it was a dream or what I saw, but I know what I know what I saw was they were like people but dressed up in animal costumes, basically. But yeah, it's really interesting how like the dream world, I don't know another word for it, but like the other realm or another realm kind of exists in sync is it with the with this world. So it just shows like how like time is not real, because you can live in different timelines at once. So it just shows how how interesting that is. But yeah, that's my own personal experience. But like honestly, I don't really know what else to talk about in terms of this stuff. Like I can't give you a definite answer of like, is this psychic ability or is this mental health thing? Because that really depends on what you think. Again, along with the whole timeline thing, how timelines don't really exist. Like what's real, what's not real. Also, it doesn't really. There's no definite answer because, or in my opinion, you can tell me different, but like, is this my imagination or is this like happening for real? Like, am I seeing this for real? That we can't really answer that because we're seeing, we're always seeing. Okay, I'm gonna ask my guides how to explain this. Okay, they're saying we always see what we want to see, to put it simply. Like we're always seeing what we want to see. So that means that one person can say what okay, one person can say this is green, this is a green bag, and another person might say no, this is blue, and maybe to them it looks like a blue bag, and I can't be like, no, this isn't blue. It's not blue to me, but that doesn't mean that if somebody's wearing a yellow like pair of yellow sunglasses, maybe it looks or wait, what's the color that makes is it purple, or if they were whatever they were wearing, or red or something, if they were wearing like a red pair of sunglasses, this might not look green to them anymore. So it's kind of like that. It's like we all have our own perspectives and we're all different, and we should embrace that. We can't be like, oh no, because to me it doesn't look green, so or to me this looks green, so it can't be blue. So it's kind of like that. It's like whatever, it just depends on where we are energetically and our own experiences and how we perceive things really, in relation to other experiences we've had. Like, okay, so my guide's telling me to talk about this one. Okay, so basically my friend, he told me about this story where like I can't exactly remember the exact story, but this girl, like, my friend met a girl at a party or something, and she was like crying at the staircase at the party, and she was crying because what was it, like her father gave her the wrong coat or something. and then like, but it was an expensive coat, but like she was crying because he bought her the wrong coat, not the coat that she wanted. And like to somebody, like to most people or to some people, it might seem like, why are you crying about that? It's such a ridiculous thing to cry about. But in her life, maybe that was the worst thing that happened to her. So in her perspective, from her life experiences that she's had, in comparison to those good experiences, maybe her father buying her the wrong coat was the worst thing in the world. But we can't really judge that. We can't really say, well, what's wrong with you? Why are you? That's such a small, insignificant thing to cry about. But we don't know that. We don't know what's significant to her, or what's significant or not significant to it might not be significant to somebody else. But we can't really say that. So it's like it's difficult to say just okay, my guides are saying get back on track. But yeah, so that's what that is. But yeah, in relation to what being able to see spirits and schizophrenia, is probably just saying like we can't just like, you know, we can't say for definite if somebody is just schizophrenic, or they might just be seeing spirits, and you know, they might just need to like ground themselves and you know, become more in touch with this reality, the reality that we live in right now, which is, you know, we live on planet Earth, and yeah, like seeing what's really around them, and basically just grounding, you know. Because I think the biggest reasons why sorry, I need to put my laptop on charge. The biggest reason why people see unwanted spirits is because they're kind of too open. They're too open to stuff. Like they're kind of barrier, as we say, like the boundary kind of, you know, aura or whatever, energetic field, energetic guard that we need to be putting on, if especially if we're sensitive to spirits or sensitive to energy in general, which I'm sure if you're coming to these lives, or if you're watching these lives, then I'm sure you understand, you read this, because you know, I'm like that, and I'm sure I'm attracting people with similar experiences. But like, if we're seeing those things, then it means that we need to kind of create a much like stronger barrier, and we do that by meditating, and also we can ask our guides to help us, you know, protect us, and trust that we're being protected, we're not letting everything in. And yeah, basically grounding, um and being in touch with the earth, that really helps as well. So yeah, that's what that is. And I guess that's the topic for today. So I'm going to start. Might as well. For people who came, and just to say thank you for watching these lives, just to say thank you. What advice they said, what advice do hi CJ, I've only had 2 experiences, and they were both in my military housing when I was in the military. I have wanted more and have been doing what I can since November to see more, but maybe I fear it too much. Oh, okay. Well, you've answered your own thing. Like, I was gonna say, like, you know, maybe like I felt like you wanted to know why you're not able to see spirits, and then you said you fear it, so you answered your own question, if that was a question. But yeah, so that, do you want to know like what you can do to open up to spirits again? Okay, so one of the biggest thing that I mean, this is obvious, but they were saying like that your what you need to do is to know that you're protected. So what you need to protect yourself before you open up to the spirits. So like speak to your guides and ask them to protect you, and like trust that you'll only see good spirits, and you're only letting in good spirits. I have been meditating and asking my guides, it's not working. Okay, what can you do? 10 of Pentacles. Well, yeah, 10 of Pentacles is like security, safety, being able to like knowing that you're not that you are safe. So what can you do? I mean, the first thing I see in this card is like basically nature. Because I can see like trees, water. Maybe getting into nature might be good. But also don't force it too. They're saying don't force it. If it's not meant to happen, then you don't need to like force it to happen to you. You know, maybe that's actually a a sign of like protection, like it's protecting you from seeing negative spirits. If it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen anyway. Like you don't have to like do something, specific or like force anything, because that that's one of the things is like you're able to see, people are able to see spirits when they're relaxed, or for me, my personal experience. But if you're like, oh, why am I not seeing spirits, or like frustrated in any way, it probably won't help. You're not the first one to say that. Nature, maybe I'll try. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, when it's warmer, of course. You don't want to be going in there when it's like snowing or something. Yeah, try nature. Try going into nature, because the first thing I saw was nature. Nature. Yeah. Yeah, so basically grounding. How interesting is, how interesting is that? Because it's like being able to see spirits is like the third eye and the crown chakra, right? But you're meant to ground yourself in order to do that. So it shows like how important grounding is, regardless of if you're trying to get in touch with your psychic ability or not. You need to ground, because as long as we're here with our bodies, as Terry Huberman says, she says the earth suit in terms of like in reference to our bodies. As long as we have an earth suit, we have to be like in connection with the earth, because that's where like we're here. That that's where we are. We're here on this earth. So even if you want to strengthen your psychic ability, and maybe especially if you want to strengthen your psychic ability, you need to ground yourself and feel safe. Yeah. And if you're doing all the right things, asking your guides and meditating, and if it's still not working, then maybe just trust the process. Maybe they're protecting you in a way, because you don't want to be connecting to everything or just randomly connecting to anything, because there's spirits everywhere all the time. The good ones and the bad ones and like the weird ones, they're always around. And then I just felt something here. Oh, okay. My guides are saying another thing. If you're not able to see them, maybe you're more clairsentient. We don't necessarily have to see them, to know that they're there. If you're able to feel them, that's actually another psychic ability called clairsentience. It's different from clairvoyance, where you're able to see them, but you have another gift, clairsentience. So that's also one that you can embrace. Because I'm also clairsentient, and sometimes actually maybe my clairsentience is stronger at times. But yeah, like I can sense, like, it's really weird. I can sense like my daughter, who's not yet born, but I can like sense her when she's, even though I can't see her sometimes, most of the time. So that's one that you can embrace too. You don't have to always, like, just because you're not able to see something, because you're coming here to these lives, that just because you can't see something doesn't mean it's not there. So embrace your clairsentience too. Yeah, and get into nature. And if you're like in touch with nature, you might see spirits who are like there to help nature. Like there's something called elementals. They are like little fairies that like help nature and like support nature, and they love nature. You might get in touch with those. They're like little lights. They feel like they're lights, but they're moving around in whatever way that they want. And yeah, you might see those. But yeah. Okay, what was I gonna do? I was gonna do like a reading for something. Okay, for people who have come to this live, what message can we get? In terms of, okay, a general one, how to strengthen our clairvoyance or ability to see spirits, or like what message do my guides have for that? How to strengthen. Okay, yes, this is so, oh my gosh, I don't know how guides know this stuff. I mean, their guides, and that's why they know. But yeah, they're saying the biggest thing is to get out of your head. Your Nine of Swords, sorry, Nine of Swords is about worrying, overthinking, stressing, basically getting stuck in your head. Um, Basically, we need to not do that. And then, oh my god, and then you see like these spirits, this ghost thing over here. Um, if we're kind of very yes, I love the question for the guy. I love that question for yeah. Okay, good. You see this like ghost thing behind her. If we're worrying or overthinking or stressing, we're actually attracting these really creepy, ghosty things. So what's really important when connecting with trying to see spirits or trying to see our guides or whatever we want to see is to first of all raise your vibration. Do something that makes you happy, going into nature, grounding, physically grounding, putting your bare feet on the ground, or even like listening to fun music. Don't listen to like creepy music or music that makes you feel sad or negative. And also eat good food, yummy food, and yeah, basically raise your vibration. Make yourself like make do things that make you happy, and then you're able to also relax because you're happy, and then you won't be attracting these creepy things. Do you see this creepy like ghosty thing? It's like wow, like how do our guides know this? But yeah, that's the way to connect to guides, is to like do things that, because if we're happy, we're not going to attract negative spirits. Yes, I love that. Oh, I already said that. I already read that. um so yeah, that's how we attract spirits, and we become more able to see spirits, is to do things that, okay, they're saying like positive spirits, those spirits that aren't creepy or scary, is first of all raise your vibration. Be like basically happiness, which happiness is an emotion, so we're not it's always changing, but as much as possible, do things that make us feel good, and then that's how we're attracting spirits all the time. Okay, they're saying even if you're not seeing them, if you'll feel them, you'll know, because that's how you'll know through your feelings that you're attracting those good spirits. And they're always around. We always have guides and spirits with us, and they're always like here to help. We're all of us, we are souls first. Before we became people or humans, we were souls. We are souls, and our guides promised to help us on this planet before we came here. So we always have them. We always have spirits and guides with us all the time. If you're not able to, even if you're not able to see them, sometimes you'll feel them, or you'll know something. Okay. Also, they're saying ask for signs. Ask for signs. Say, if you're around, then in the next 7 days, show me a picture, or like show me a lion or something. And then they'll show you a lion. It might be a picture, or it might be like a sticker or something, but you'll see one. Or maybe you might see a physical, like in the physical reality, physical like realm, you might actually see a lion. Or you might see a YouTube video of a lion, or a TikTok video of a lion. But like, you can ask them for signs that they're around. It could be anything. It doesn't have to be lion. I just thought of lion because lions are my favorite animals. But yeah, that's how you get in touch with that. How interesting. I was going to talk about like schizophrenia and in relation to the psychic ability, but we ended up talking about this stuff too, like how you can get more in touch with our guides. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys soon. And thank you for coming here, like watching live and joining the live stream. But also thank you if you're rewatching watching the replay. And don't forget to comment in the comment section about your personal experience with seeing spirits or seeing ghosts, because we want to share our experiences. I don't want to just talk about me, because that's not why I'm doing this. But yeah, I love you guys so much, and have a a great evening or night or day, whatever time you're watching this, and I'll see you guys next week. It should be at 11 a.m. JST. So see you next week. See you next week. Yeah, I shouldn't be late this time, but next time. But I'll see you guys very soon, and I love you very much. Take care.